Hi yogis, welcome to YOGIWHALE. Today I've got a 50-minute Vinyasa Flow for you where we'll be exploring the theme, finding contentment. The class will be suitable for all levels and I'll be giving different variations along the way. But remember, this is your practice, not mine, I'm just the guide. So if there's anything you don't feel like doing today, then you don't do it. If you need me to shut up for a while or you need a little rest, then hit pause and take a child's pose. You might need a block or a cushion to make some of the poses more comfortable, but that is an option. There is a Spotify playlist called Yoga 50 Minutes Contentment if you want to put it on and play it while we move. Otherwise you can listen to my monotone voice for near enough an hour. If you're ready, put on something comfortable, roll out your mat and we'll get started. So yogis, before we start any sort of movement, I want you to find a comfortable seat on your mat. This might be with your legs crossed. Your legs might be out long in front of you. You might want your arms behind your back for some support. Whatever just feels the most natural, the most comfortable. As we just spend a few minutes here arriving to our mat, just taking a moment before, as I said, we do any movement. So if it feels comfortable and it's safe to do so, you can close down your eyes. And I want every breath that you take from now on to be a conscious breath. Not the passive breaths that we take as we get on with our day. I want you to really breathe in and breathe out with intention. And as you do so, I want you to start extending the inhales and extending the exhales. So again, it's a full body breath. As you're breathing in, breathing into your belly, inflating your lungs, inflating the top of the lungs, and exhaling it from the top, the middle, and the belly. So we'll spend some time here just arriving together. Put in behind you the day that you might have had, the day that you might have. You're just going to be here. You've dedicated this time to yourself. So I just want you to use your breath to anchor you down into the mat and to arrive. And as you're spending this time breathing, we're going to be exploring the theme today, finding contentment. One of the limbs of yoga is known as the niyamas. The niyamas is some guidelines on how to treat yourself, how to respect yourself. And one of these guidelines is santosha, which is contentment. So it's quite a vague word to describe many different things. But as we move through the class, there's going to be some poses that might challenge you. But I want you to find your contentment in how you are in that pose. We're going to weave this theme into the class. When we weave these themes into our asana, into our movement, we take them off the mat and take them into our lives. We often spend our days chasing the next high, chasing the next big thing, whether it's a holiday, a phone upgrade, a day off, a meal out, anything that you look towards. But I want you to always bring it back and find the contentment in your state of being, in where you are now. So this is santosha. It's being happy where you are with what you've got in your state of being. So some of the poses that challenge you, just accept how your body is. If you need to take a step back from the pose, then you can do so. If you need a break, then you can pause it and go into child's pose. Just be content with your movement and your body. So opening your eyes now, we're just going to start with some gentle movement. Wherever you got to in your seat, I want you to bring your feet together, open your knees out to the side, and gently just start to move them up and down in these butterfly flaps. Starting to just breathe and open up into the hips. Make it slow and controlled, there's no rush here. It's just our first little bit of movement. And then bringing the knees together, just step your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And we're going to knock our knees from side to side. So again, doesn't matter where they get to, doesn't matter how far they reach, just find your limit and stretch into it. Just knocking them slowly from side to side. Next time that you take it to the side, use your back just to stretch up your body into your shoulder, holding it here. And then slowly to the other side. And then bringing your knees back to center. Coming onto all fours, so facing the long side of your mat. Place your hands nice and grounded on the mat. Spread your fingers. Plant your hands. Make sure your hips are right above your knees and your feet can just be flat on the mat behind you. We're going to start to warm up the spine. So inhaling just to lift your gaze, drop the belly. And as you exhale, crunch it in, dome the back, chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, dome the back. And then bring your body to neutral. Now, take the right leg out behind you, cross it over the left, and then I want you to look over your left shoulder. So your body's come into this C shape and you can feel an opening up the right side of your body. Making sure you're taking those breaths with intention, sending your breath, sending your prana to the parts of your body that you're working on. One more breath here. And then bring your knee in. Take the left leg out long, cross it over the right, and then look over your right shoulder. Feel that opening in the left side of your body. Sending your breath into those muscles that we're stretching out. And then bringing the knees in. Now just starting with some circular movements. Imagine your spine is like a skipping rope. So your shoulders and your hips, you're trying to keep them still and just isolate the movement to your spine. It's easily said than done, but really try and move just the spine, this kind of skipping rope motion. And then change the direction of the skipping rope. And then bringing it to stillness here. Now extend the right arm out long. Extend your left leg out long. So you can keep your left leg on the ground for some support if you like, but we're just going to bring our elbow to knee, crunch everything in, and then extend. Option to lift the left leg, crunch it in, extend, crunch, and then inhale, extend and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then place the right hand down, left knee down, and then open up, extend the left arm, extend the right leg, keep it on the ground if you prefer, or lift it up. Take an inhale, and then exhale, crunch everything in, extend, crunch, extend, crunch, extend, last crunch here, and then inhale and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing everything down here. So now that we've kind of warmed up the spine in these different directions, we're going to start to lift to our downward dog. So again, making sure that you've got enough room on your mat, your hands are nice and firm on the ground. As I said, fingers spread. So if anyone was to push you right now, you're glued to your mat. You're nice and strong. Bring your chest towards your knees. Tuck your toes so that we're ready in this position to lift up. This will give you a nice alignment as you're moving up, rather than just jumping straight into it. Inhale and start to lift the knees. So you'll feel your back lengthening, you'll feel your legs starting to stretch out. You can keep a bend in the legs if you need to. Always keeping a little micro bend. Reaching your heels down towards the mat. Remember, they don't need to touch. And then lengthen down through your spine. Take some nice deep breaths here. And then just start to walk your downward dog. So you're going to drop one heel at a time. You can introduce some little hip movements. Make it nice and fluid. Good for your mobility. One heel down at a time. Making sure that your shoulders are tucked away from your ears. You're not crunching your body in. Just nice and long through the spine. Bringing it to stillness. Look towards your hands. And then start to just walk very slowly, little baby steps, on the tiptoes if you need to, bending your legs whenever it's required, and then finding a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway, and then exhale back into your fold, this time grabbing both elbows and just hang out here in your ragdoll, swaying from side to side, taking a really nice passive stretch up the back of your legs. We're not in a rush to get anywhere today. We're taking it nice and slow before we come up. And then taking the hands down, letting go of your elbows. Inhale to halfway. Just taking a moment here to regulate, not getting up too fast, not rushing with our blood pressure so we don't get dizzy when we come up. And then exhale, just come down for a moment to bow, and then inhale, sweep your hands all the way up, let them meet at the top, and then bring them into prayer. So now that we've made it all the way to standing, we're going to be using our full body now to flow through some movements into some sun salutations. So remember, at any point, if you need a break, you just hit pause, take a child's pose and jump in whenever you're ready. But if you're ready now, we'll take an inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale, dive down, nice graceful movement, all the way down to the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant your hands back and step your right foot back, dropping your knees here if you'd like to. And then we're just going to pulse through some cat-cow lunges. So just inhaling through, exhaling, dome in the back. You can stay with your knee dropped, or you can lift it and take the movement a little bit higher. See what differences, what muscles in your legs that you're targeting. Last one through, inhaling. Wherever you are, if your knee's lifted, just drop it down. Plant your right hand and then open up to the left. Make sure it's a nice straight line, or working towards straight from your left hand down to your right arm. As you're here, start to twist your wrists in one direction and then change. And now take some movements in the shoulders, so some windmill type movements. Really reaching, extending your full arm from your shoulder, and then change the direction. And then next time that you're atop, just start to bring it down. Making sure that you're nice and supported. You might want to bring your knee in a little bit further, your right hand on the ground. I want you to just very gently, with your left hand, just start to push open, looking over your left shoulder, coming into a little twist, And with care and attention, just starting to open the left hip. Take 3 deep breaths here. Check in with any sensations. Release any tension. Anything that involves opening our hips can be quite intense. So use your breath just to breathe through any discomfort. But recognize if there's any pain and just back out. And then closing that back in. Plant your hands on the mat. Step your right foot to meet your left. And then, you're going to hate me for this, but we're just going to lift into a little chair. This is our first challenging movement. I'm just going to step back so you can see me at the front of the mat. So, making sure that you're not caving in with the torso, making sure the back and the shoulders are nice and straight. You've got a strong trunk holding you here. Your knees, making sure they're not coming too far forward, that you can just about see your toes. Your seat, well, I'll leave that up to you. It can be a nice high seat. You can challenge yourself by taking it lower. You'll really feel it in the tops of your thighs. But we're just going to inhale, lift our arms. And then exhale, swing. Option to come onto your tiptoes, challenge your balance. Inhale up. Exhale, swing. Inhale up. And if you need to come out, be content with that decision. That's how you are today. The next time you do it, it might be for longer. It might be a lower seat. Just be content with where you are now. Last one, inhale, and then come out of your seat, take a breath. Just check in with anything you've activated there, any fire that you've created in your legs. Inhaling and exhaling just to reset. And we'll go with the other side. So inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, drop down to the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant your hands and then step your left foot back. Inhaling through some cat-cow lunges. So again, keep your knee lowered if you'd wish. Or just dome the back, raising the leg, and take some movements here. Again, just finding your limit. You don't need to push past any stretch if it doesn't feel good. Just sitting into where you are. Last one through to the center. Plant your left hand down and now we'll open up to the right. Taking some wrist twists. And then changing the direction. And now some big windmill movements from your shoulders, really reaching. Don't make it just a floppy arm. Reach, make it active. Imagine you're painting a big circle. And then just change the direction. Big circle the other way. Follow your outline, make the circle bolder. And then finishing here. Making sure you're nice and stable on your mat. Just placing your right hand onto your knee and then starting to gently open up the hips here, looking over your right shoulder. Again, you don't need to push your knee all the way down to the ground. It doesn't need to look or feel like anything. Just find a nice comfortable stretch. It's our first little bit of opening up our hips. And then bringing that in slowly, planting your hands. Your left foot's coming to meet your right. Find a chair, however low it is. Lift up, nice strong trunk. Arms reaching up. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Swing your chair. Option for your tiptoes. If you fall out of it, doesn't matter. Just come back, have some fun. This is not my definition of fun. However, it's a fun challenge that doesn't exist. Exhale. Inhale through up. Take our last one. Exhale. Inhale, lift out of your chair. Shake your legs. Take out the burn. And return to Tadasana. Nice standing pose. Shoulders up strong. Shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And just find this nice posture. So we'll flow through some sun salutations. So after you've done one or two, you'll know what's coming. And again, if you need to take a break, just tap pause and come in when you're ready. Inhale, let's go. Lift up, arms reach. Exhale, fold down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank. Drop your knees for our first one, and then come down all the way to the mat. Inhale in low cobra. Elbows tight into the body. Exhale, come down. Lift through, back through your knees, into a downward dog. So that's one option as we flow through them, taking it through your knees. The next few I'll demonstrate a chaturanga. So just decide, be content with the decision that you've made. So inhaling to lift your heels, look towards your hands. You can walk here or do a little hop. Inhaling halfway. Exhale. And then inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. Exhaling your hands to heart center. That was one. Inhale, let's go. I didn't tell you how many we're doing. I'm not going to. Exhale, come down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place your hands down into a plank. Take your knee, drop knees version if you wish, or coming down to your elbows are at 90, hugged into the body, flip your toes. And then inhale, up dog. Exhale, push yourself back to a downward dog or come up through your knees. Take a breath here. Next, inhale to charge. Exhale to reset. Look forward, walk or hop. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. And then inhale, big movement, sweep up. Exhale your hands to heart. That was two. Let's go to the next one. Inhale up. Exhale, dive. Breathe in to halfway. Breathe out to plant your hands. Step back to a plank. Exhaling through your version. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to push back. Take a breath here. And then inhale to charge up. Exhale, lift your heels, look forward, walk or hop. Inhale. Dive down. Reverse swan dive up. Hands to meet, hands down at your heart. That was three. Inhale, let's go up. Exhale, come down. Inhale up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Coming through to the ground or your chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale to downward dog. Take a breath here. And then engage, inhale to charge. Exhale, lifting your heels, walk or hop. Halfway. Forward fold. Inhale to lift. And bring your hands to heart. That was four. We'll do one more. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale halfway. Plant the hands, step back to a plank. And decide how you're going to make it down. Lifting up. And then pushing yourself back to a downward dog. take a child's pose here, just drop your knees and take a few breaths just to reset. Check in with your body, see how that feels now that you've introduced your full body to these movements. How your breath's starting to deepen. Do you feel any heat, perspiration? Observe the sensations that you've created in your body. All these amazing things happening at once, just to keep you moving. So one more breath here if you're ready. And then starting to lift out. So we're going to take a plank just before we head up. So again, make sure your hands are nice and strong into the mat. You can step your feet back and start to lift when you're ready. Dome through the back, really push out from your shoulders rather than caving in. The strength will come and the support will come from these shoulder joints. So lift up, take some breath here. Always an option to drop your knees. We're just going to set a little fire in our core, start to engage it, wake it up. Taking your breaths here. Be content with where you are, with how your body is, your strength. Don't force anything. Don't do anything you don't need right now. Listen to your body and hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Just drop the knees. Take a little child's pose. Let that fire go away in your core. And then just starting to lift up. Inhale through to a downward dog. And then from here, inhale just before we start any movement. And as you exhale, looking forward to your hands, you can walk there or do a hop. Inhale up, exhale and fold, and then reverse dive back to where we started in our Tadasana. So again, check in with your body, see how this feels. Do you need a glass of water? Do you need a rest? Or are you ready to go? Remember, there's always that option to pause. So we'll go through some more standing sequences. Starting to twist and open up through our hips. Inhale, lift up. Reach. Exhale, come down to a fold. Inhale, halfway. And then step your right foot back. Not going down here, we're lifting up into a high lunge. And then exhale, we're going to twist. So you're going to twist towards your bent knee, towards the left, if your right foot is back. And then starting to open up, place your left hand, your right hand on your left leg and reach. Feel this twist and stretch through the sides of your body, a little back bend as well. Make sure it's safe, make sure it's supported. And then kind of a windmill movement, opening your hands to a warrior two. Again, just take a minute to check your warrior. So look down at your heels, that back arch of the foot lining up with the front heel. Make sure your knees not caving in, that it's nice and open from those hips that we've been warming up. Shoulders relaxed, looking out towards your front fingers. And then inhale, lunge forward, reverse the warrior. So again, big reach through the side of the body. And then exhale, coming down, planting your hands on the foot or on the sides of the foot. And then inhale, lift your left leg up to a three-legged dog. Exhale your body through to a plank. Drop your knees if you'd like to. And then coming down through Chaturanga, inhaling up. And then exhaling to a downward dog. Take an inhale to charge up. And then exhale, lift your heels, look towards your hands and hop. halfway, bow to a fold, and then sweep all the way up into Tadasana, this nice comfortable pose where we can find contentment. Ready to do the other side. Take a little crouch to lift, inhale, exhale and fold, inhale up, and then exhale, plant the hands and step the left foot back. Once you've got your support there, inhale, lift up to a high lunge. And now take your twist. So twisting towards that bent front leg, looking over your back arm, over your thumb. Remembering to breathe. And then windmill those arms into a warrior two. Make it nice and graceful. And check in with this side. How does it look? How does it feel? Your body's not caving in anywhere. It's not flopping anywhere. It's not holding any tension. Just nice and relaxed. Sit into your warrior two. Inhale, lunge forward, turn the palm and sweep back to reverse. And then bringing it back to a warrior two. We're going to take that twist on the other side because I forgot. So take your right arm to your left leg and then reach through the side. Again, listening to your body. If it's not for you today, be content with that decision. It's your decision. There we go. Now we're evened out. Bring it back to a warrior two. I have to be content with the fact that I forget things sometimes, but never mind. Inhale, sweep it back, just to bring it down, coming all the way down to the mat. Planting your hands, and then lifting that right foot up to a three-legged dog. Bring that foot down, set up to your plank, decide if you'd like to drop your knees, and then come down through Chaturanga. Inhaling through to an up dog. Exhaling to a downward dog here. Take a breath. Take a child's pose if you need to. Dropping your knees. Just taking a rest here. If you want to stay active in your downward dog, then you can do so. Just take some nice deep breaths. So on your next inhale, charge up. And then exhale, bend the heels, the knees, and then look forward to hop. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. And then back up to our comfy Tadasana, our content pose here. So facing the long side of your mat, step your legs out a little bit wider. Have a block or a cushion handy, just in case you need it. And from here, we're going to sit into a goddess. So we've been working on opening up the hips. So to see how that feels, decide where you'd like to put your legs. Make sure they are wider than the hips, just so you can get this expression. But if you want to sit deeper into it, you can widen the bend and sit here with your hands at prayer. Again, this is a challenging pose. In a few seconds, you're going to feel a little bit of a burn start to catch fire in your legs. So why don't we make it worse by pulsing? So I want you to just do some gentle pulsing, just a centimetre or two. Starting this movement. Remember, just come out and stand up, shake it off if you need to. But just pulsing through this goddess. Starting this fire in your legs. Engage your core to keep you strong as well, rather than caving or flopping in. Gentle pulses here. Finding contentment with this pose. Finding your limit and where you are with it. If it's too much, you come out of it. If you want more of a challenge, you can do it a little bit faster. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Lift out of it. Come into a star. Shake off your knees, your legs, do whatever you need to do. And then coming back into a wide stance, we're going to take a Malasana squat. So this is where your block might come in handy. So I'll place mine just below here. So sitting through our goddess, we're going to start to lower down and lower ourselves into this space that we've created. So that might be onto your block today, or your cushion, whatever you're using. And you might find some comfort here. Again, it's a really deep stretch up the thighs. You might want to take out your block and see where you get to in your squat here. Use your elbows and your knees to kind of push against each other so that you can lengthen through the spine. Nice upright through the crown, no caving in. If you feel like you're caving in, it doesn't feel good, maybe you've gone a bit too low today. So just raise your stance and see how that feels. Take your right hand down to your right leg, and like a bow and arrow, you're going to reach up, open through the left, and then sweep that left hand down to meet the right. Pull your string of the bow and release it at the top. Bring it down. Pull the string. Release it. One more. Stretch through. Pull the string and release it down. Let your hands meet in prayer just for a brief moment as you then bring that left hand down. Taking the right hand up, pulling the string. Release. Pull the string. Feel the tension and release. Take it down to the left hand, grab it, pull your bow and arrow and release the arrow. One more here. Pull the string out and release it. Bring your hands back to prayer. Just take a moment here, take a breath. So now, whether you're facing the long side of the mat, just come round, plant your hands just behind you, just to take a little bridge as we transition down to our mat now. Lifting up, inhale, lift the hips. Only relax the neck if it feels good. Don't throw it back. And then exhale, bring your torso between your hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. Lift it through. So you've always got an option here to hover or sit. But you can test that out, see how it feels in your arms. Your arms might not be long enough, and that's sometimes the case. But if not, just take a last one here, just to show you. Inhale, and then hold it and hover, and then drop your glutes, your sit bones, down to the mat. So make sure there's enough space behind you for your head when you come down to the mat. We're just going to lower gently down, just one vertebrae at a time, kind of rolling out your spine like pearls on a table. And then bring your right leg and cross it over the left, and then just with your right hand gently push it out there. So again, feeling that hip opener, and this might be enough. It might feel good, it might be a nice stretch. Option to reach in between your legs and grab the opposite thigh and then pull your leg in into this figure 4 seat. Remember, take a nice deep breath. Just because we've slowed the practice down doesn't mean you need to forget about the breathing. It's just as important here as it was at the start, as it was in the middle. So if you find your breath has fallen shallow, then just encourage yourself, bring it back. Now drop the foot down to the ground. Place your arms out long and then knock your knees over to the left. So you can feel the spinal twist. Take your gaze in the opposite direction to your knees. So you've got this full-on 180 twist. Again, sending your breath to any parts of your body that you've opened up, that you've worked on today, sending all the nutrients, all the prana, everything that your body needs, you already have. Take 5 more breaths here. And as the practice is slowed down, perhaps your thoughts start to creep in. Your plan for the day, your plan for the weekend, whatever point of time that you're in. Because we often focus through the fast movements and where to put our body, our hands, our feet, how to breathe, how to adjust our body, that we don't have time to make these thoughts. That's why it's known as a moving meditation. So sometimes slowing it down, the mind starts to take advantage, knowing that you're perhaps less focused on other parts of your body. So if you notice that, by using the breath, you'll bring it back. So lift your knees back through center, uncross them, and swap it over. So see how your left leg feels over your right. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you want to reach and pull it in. Maybe it's different on this side. Maybe it's looser. Maybe it's tighter. Observe that. Perhaps there's some mobility that you could work on to even things out. But at the end of the day, we're not symmetrical. We're not meant to be even on both sides. It's the way we carry our body, our bags, our children. This can create imbalances. So it's normal. But these kind of movements and therapies will help you and alleviate any pain that might be related to it. Dropping the foot down, take your arms out and then knock the knees over to the right. Taking your gaze in the opposite direction now. Enjoying this twist up the other side of your body. Where can you find contentment in these restful poses? Is this what you've been waiting for throughout the class as we challenged and moved? Perhaps that's the lesson for you, to find contentment in even the challenging poses, even in the challenges that present themselves in our lives. Why did they arrive? What can I learn? Take 5 more breaths here. And then with control from your core, move your hips to even uncross the legs here. Plant your feet on the mat. And then just bring your knees into your chest. Grab hold of your knees and start to just paint little circles with your knees. We've done quite a bit of movement in opening our hips, so this is a little bit of restorative movement. And then change the direction, paint the circles the other way. Make sure you get to your full range of motion. Let your arms go out long. And then grabbing hold of your shins, your ankles, or the bottoms of your feet outside the pinky toes, just start to lift up to a happy baby. Rocking from side to side. Grounding through your back. Taking a little massage as you roll. Extend one leg at a time is an option. Take a little deep stretch on the inner thigh. See how that feels. Is it tight? Can you breathe in and release any tension? You might want to push your knees towards your armpits and feel that opening in your pelvis. And then now I invite you to do anything that you feel your body needs. You can stay here in happy baby, you can roll from side to side, take another twist. Otherwise, just grabbing hold of your shins, curl yourself up into a little ball, grabbing your elbows, bringing your nose to your knee, squeezing everything in together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then on your exhale, release everything down to the ground. Settling in, tuck your shoulder blades together so you can feel your chest is open, your heart space is open. The backs of your palms to the ground, your legs a little bit wider than your mat. Closing down the eyes. Being content with this beautiful resting pose that we've worked so hard to get to. And I'll be spending about a minute here with you. If you need a little bit longer, you pause it and you take as long as you need. Rest here. Otherwise, just starting to let your thoughts come and go. Don't control anything. Let go of any breath focus. Just let your body completely sink into the mat. Enjoying your Savasana. So if you're ready, need a bit longer, stay where you are. But if you're ready to come back, just start with some gentle movement in your toes, in your fingertips. Taking a full body stretch if you need to. Taking your arms out behind your head, your legs out long and stretch into it. Take a yawn, take a sigh, whatever you need to do. And then nice and gently turning to one side, whichever side feels the most natural, whichever calls to you today. Just staying there, curling up your knees to your chest, lying down on your forearm, pausing here just for a moment. Taking a moment here to be grateful for your health, for being able to move like this. Taking a moment to be grateful for your safety, for your freedom. Being content with your state of being, with where you are. And then find something else that you're grateful for, whatever it might be, whatever thought came to your head. whoever it is, whatever it is. Just feel the warmth of it from your heart radiate all throughout your body. Hold it throughout your body, in your mind, or out loud. Say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then nice and slowly, just coming up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed if you wish. Taking your hands at heart once you're here in the prayer position. And then lifting your hands up to your forehead to go forward from here with kind and loving thoughts. Bring your hands to your mouth to go forward from here with kind and loving words. And bring your hands back to your heart to go forward from here with kind and loving actions. Just gently blinking the eyes, open, starting to let in the light. Giving me a big smile. And thanks very much for practicing with me today.